Hello and welcome to a PHP Basics tutorial on the PHP while loop. The PHP while loop is a very powerful loop that loops until an event occurs. It loops until the condition is met, and it performs the code in the time between the starting loop and the time that the condition is actually met. It's very similar to a for loop. However, a for loop loops over the code a number of times, and a while loop can loop while a condition is still false or still not true, and then as soon as it is true, it refrains from looping again. So, getting started, a while loop is called just like the other types of loops in PHP, using the while keyword, set of brackets, and a code block with curly brackets. Inside these brackets goes the condition you're checking, and in this code block is the code to perform. So, a while loop, as I said, checks to see if a condition has been met. So you could, of course, go if x is equal to or less than or equal to y, x is less than or equal to 10, etc. But all of these can be performed using a for loop, and they should be performed using a for loop because that's what the for loop is built for. So a lot of people wonder, well then, what is a while loop used for? It checks if any other conditions are met. So, for instance, while x is equal to false. So, as long as this is true, it will loop through this loop. Or while x does not equal to hello. Or there's common functions, especially in regards to MySQL, or, well, the most common would be MySQL function that is used in a while loop very often. If you're selecting multiple rows, you have to use a while loop to use the MySQL fetch a sock function. And if you check out some MySQL tutorials, or MySQL if you'd prefer to say it that way, that function will be used frequently. And really, when you set it into a while loop, all that's saying is while this MySQL fetch a sock is equal to true. So as long as there is a row to make into an associative array, it will loop. And as soon as that becomes false, it stops looping. So that's basically how a while loop works. I'll give you an example right now. And my example, I'm going to start with a variable called letter. And this letter is going to equal to a, like that. Now, this is just going to be a very basic and really non-practical example, but it should show you. So, I'm going to say while letter does not equal to a. So 4 A's. And in here, we're going to echo letter and a break, just to make things appear very nicely. And then we're going to say letter has a concatenation of a onto it. And basically what that is saying is letter is equal to the current letter and then an a on the end of it. So it would be like that, which is really that. And so if I were to go back to the page and refresh, you can see that we get A, because after that it would be A. And so for as long as this is not true, or this statement right here is actually still occurring, it will loop through this block of code. It is trying to make this condition met. Another example that we could use, and again, not overly practical, but it should still just give you an idea. We're going to define an animals array. And this animals array is just going to be a basic array with 4 keys. First key will be dog, and then cat, and then bat, and then rat. And we're also going to define another variable, and it's going to be equal to 0. We're just going to call it x. And this variable is going to be used to determine what key of the array we are in right now. So while x is 0, we'll be in the 0th key, which is really the first one, and then 1, 2, 3 as we increment x. So we're going to say while animals x is not equal to bat, echo animals x, a break, and then we're going to increment x. So what this page does, or what this script does, is it checks to see if the animals with the array key you currently have specified, so it would be a 0, is equal to bat. Well, it checks if it's not equal to bat. As long as it's not equal to bat, it's going to perform this code, which this would be a 0 right here too, and then x would be incremented, so x would now equal 1. And then it's going to check if animals array is not equal to bat. It's not, because it's cat, and so it'll perform this code again and increment x. And then it'll check is animals 2 not equal to bat. Animals 2 is equal to bat, and so it'll perform the code down here. So I hope this makes sense. I'm just going to restore these values. Oops. And I'll refresh the page to show you the output. So we get dog and cat, because the first one is dog, the second one is cat, the third one is bat. And as you know, bat is not equal to bat, and therefore this is no longer true, and it starts to perform the code down here. That's about it for a while loop. You just have to be careful in using them. If you're looping through a number of times, use a for loop. And oftentimes people will while loop x is less than y or whatever, and both of these are numbers, and that's what a for loop is built for. A while loop is meant to see if a condition or an event has occurred. And so yeah, it's more powerful in a sense than a for loop, but it should not be used interchangeably with a for loop. That's it for this video. I hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below or send me a message. And please check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.